Alright, let me check and see if we are live. I gotta add a new thumbnail to this. What's up, y'all? Do I not? Hold on, y'all. We're gonna get started. Just give me 1 second. So are we live vertically? Oh, it won't let me see. Okay, hold on. Switch. Wait. Okay, that's that one. And that's live. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Test. Can y'all hear? What is really going on? Girl. Hey, Allie. I'm trying to make sure you can actually hear me because I don't have a mic hooked up. I'm trying to use the mic on my actual computer, which I don't know if that is going to work. Oh, wait, y'all can hear me. I'm trying to make sure. Okay, y'all can hear me. Cool. But then I also have a vertical one going, so it should be 2 live streams happening, but I don't see the other one. What day is this? This is day 267, I think, or 262. That's what it is. Day 262. Save. Oh, I know what I need to do. For that. Okay, y'all. So, I recently posted some ZATIMA videos, so if you're not watching ZATIMA on BET Plus, then this won't necessarily apply to you. And I'm actually sorry that I'm giving y'all this screenwriting session before All American and before Karen, the Aaron and Karen story. The crazy thing is, it's like I knew I needed to go live today, and I was just sitting here responding to comments, planning things, because I've kind of really been more focused on just grieving and the funeral and all that kind of stuff. But I was sitting here and I was like, oh, I saw this this comment about a person asking me, what did I mean when, let me actually pull it up. Someone asked me, what did I mean when I said Fatima needs a story outside of her relationship? Let me find it. Yes, Kathy McCormick said, you keep saying we need to see who Fatima is outside of her relationship with Zach. Explain that. And I was like, okay, like, that ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. I can explain that, but I feel like putting it on paper would go even further, right? Like, showing you would, I think, explain it better than me just telling you. So I am going to explain it and like say, but I'm not going to, but I'm also going to put it on paper first and let that be that. So that is what this is. My notes app is up right now because I'm thinking about the beats of what would the ideal episode look like. And before I even get to the beats, typically on average, ZATIMA episodes are 26 minutes long, which just a general thing when you're thinking about screenwriting, it is 1 page per minute. So we want to aim to be like 26 pages. Oh wait, before I finish this, hold on. Before I really get into this, let me go over here, change, right. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Okay, that's the vertical one. Default is set. Hold on. Yeah, they're different. So let me. Day 262 of 90. Okay. I don't know what is going on with this thing. Let me stop this one and start it again. This is so weird. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna go because I don't know what's going on with the vertical side. Anyway, this is me unpacking the feedback that I give about Fatima not having any type of personality or any story outside of her relationship with Zach in the show. And I don't think that it's as easy to see or point out for just the regular viewer, because we are often conditioned for that. Like, so many women are conditioned to believe that their lives are just literally supposed to be in servitude to some man, whether it's a romantic relationship, their fathers, their grandfathers, their uncles, whomever. Our society is patriarchal, and we have evolved in that way over the last however many years, right? And when we first meet Fatima, we know that she is Andy's assistant at the law firm, and she's an aspiring law student. She has a philosophy on relationships and dating where she doesn't really get too attached, and she's not taking people seriously. She's enjoying herself, and she's really focused on herself and her career. She owns her own home in that condo that she had her own car, like has a job. Her life is really, really well put together. And she's cool. She had past heartbreak, which we get in the first season of ZATIMA. We're, clued into like what happened with that. And that's a little bit of the reason why she moves the way that she moves. But she doesn't feel, when we first meet her and sisters, she doesn't feel jaded. She doesn't feel like she's just like overly aggressively like bitter towards men. She's just living her life. And I think that is really interesting how people are so quick to stigmatize independent women or women who are navigating life outside of like centering a man or for the approval of some man. And I think, and people love to add like the scarlet letter L, basically, of like, oh, she's a lonely woman. Fatima did not come across like that to me from the very beginning. It is not until she runs into Zach, who is this man who is down on his luck, has no cars, riding around on a bike, barely has a job, is in and out of jail. Like, all of these things is happening in this man's life, and now that she has taken interest in him, these things are now a part of her life, and she has to fix it. Do we actually see a shift? This is all before we even, aside from like her independence, her career, and some of her ambitions, she is thrust into Zach's orbit so quickly that we don't even really get to establish who she is aside from the general that I just explained to you. So when I'm saying that I would like to see her life outside of the relationship, which, newsflash, she doesn't have a life outside of the relationship, which is also, to me, a red flag for the relationship, and the relationship is not a sustainable one or a healthy one, because yes, romantic love is valuable, marriage is important, all of that. But if you cease to exist as an individual simply because you're in a relationship, it's 9 times out of 10 that relationship is not a healthy one. And that's not even just for romantic relationships. That's also for friends and for family. Like, you have to honor your individuality. You have to honor your soul in this life. So that's my take on Fatima, and I'm going to explain that more as I go into like a video, because the person asked me to make a video about what I meant by that when I said it in a couple of other videos. But again, I wanted to show y'all versus just telling you, and I'm going to do that by trying to write an episode where we get to know Fatima's life. Now, I am literally doing this off the cuff. I didn't plan this out. So the note app is up right now, and I'm going to figure out some quick beats. I'm going to, and then Tyler Perry doesn't really write to a standard structure. Okay, Mimi, enjoy Double Cross. Tyler doesn't stick to a typical like writing structure, so it's a little bit harder. But I just turned on the computer and started to do this because it would be easier for me than the amount of nuance and care that I would like to take in rewriting some of the All American scenes that I've talked about in the past, and then Karen and Aaron's love story. There's just so much specificity I want to put into that. But ZATIMA lacks so much on Fatima's part. We can literally start anywhere. So if we were to think, and this is kind of like, I guess, the whole process of screenwriting, if we're to think about what is missing, right, in Fatima's life, or like to give Fatima a full, well-rounded thing, I'm just gonna put like some things on the screen. So family, friends, job, or I can just put ambitions here. What other stuff? So basically, we want to start with like what. Oh Lord, hold on, y'all. Let me have it. You really want to start with what kind of like makes up a person, and you can think about what does your life look like, right? Like, what does your day-to-day entail? Hobbies / skills. All right. So when it comes to family, she does have a mother and father who are still with her, but she doesn't really see them. I believe that she's the only child, so there's no others. I think that her mother might be Cadillac's sister, which is how Madam is her cousin. Madam is her cousin. She is aware of the life, but is removed. Madam doesn't have any kids, but Carla does. We don't know. She doesn't interact with Amp. So they don't have a relationship. Trying to think what else with family. So if it's Cadillac and Fatima's mama, or maybe the daddy, I don't know. I don't think it's the daddy though. I think it's Fatima's mama. We don't know nothing about her daddy's side. And again, I'm guessing with a lot of this. Those are all the same ones. Those are not new ones. All right, so that's her immediate family, where she come from. Now we got Zach, which is the family that she's building. And unborn child. Not me. Can't spell. That's pretty much it when it comes to her family. If there's something else that y'all think I'm missing, let me know in the comment section. Alright. Friends. Angela is her best friend. Belinda was a former best friend. Let me stop trying to do that and I'll just record. Leslie is another former best friend. Andy, boss, and new best friend. I don't think we can count Paul as a friend. I think that's pretty much it when it comes to her friends. So like let's talk about them a little bit. So Angela, heart of gold, loyal and loving, and her whole face. Belinda is jealous and manipulative. The type of person to befriend the person they want to be in order to sabotage their life and learn as much about how to be that person as possible. You can't remember, but Fatima's bio father's deceased. Oh, so that man that that woman is with right now is not her dad. Ah, let me update that. Deceased. Do you want me to take that downstairs? So then is her stepfather. Let me put that stepfather. She seems to respect him. If I got that right, Ellie, let me know. I appreciate that. Type of person to befriend the person they want to be in order to sabotage their life and learn as much about how to be that person as possible. Miserable. Belinda is definitely miserable. Now, Leslie, I don't know enough about. I'm gonna just go, this is like so not objective, it's subjective AF. She seems genuine, but that's both in her hurt, admiration, and jealousy. Like she seems genuine in all of it. Is currently in a marriage with Fatima. Oh, I need to put that for Belinda. Slept with Zach before he and Fatima met. Then tried to sleep with him again after she discovered they were in a relationship. Okay, so Leslie is currently in a marriage with Fatima's former, I'm gonna say former first love or ex-boyfriend. Feels, she cheated with him and then fell in love, decided to get married, but feels like a constellation. I spelled that all type of wrong. Supposed to be a U in there. Prize. Is it right? Constellation? I don't know. Prize. Because he really still wants to be with Fatima. This is weird. This is so weird and so messy, but Tyler is messy. Hey, Nzinga. Fatima has also mentioned being raised by her grandmother. Oh, because her mother was out there in the life. I remember now. I'm starting to. Okay. Her grandmother raised her, indicating a strain with her mother. Okay, let me put grandmother in here. And this is all that has to go into it when you really writing or when you trying your best to do right. Like Tyler be tripping, but this is what you're supposed to be doing so that you can keep track of stuff and you can keep the storylines consistent and going, you know? You wonder if Malachi is the guy Fatima had a miscarriage with. I just assumed it was Ian. Oh no, she had an abortion with Ian. Wait, when did she have a miscarriage, y'all? I thought that she was talking about the abortion. See, this is Tyler not keeping up. Tyler Perry don't be keeping up with what he got on the page. Oh, you good, girl? How you doing? Grandmother raised Fatima. So that would be Cadillac's mother. Allie, do you think that that Fatima's mom is Cadillac's sister? You think I'm right with that? Dang, do you remember which episode she said that in? That the miscarriage happened when she referenced that? Because I thought she was referencing the abortion. I didn't think that. Dang. Okay. Y'all keep typing in the chat. Love that video you did earlier. Because you don't watch You Okay? Wait, which video? Which video did you love? I mean, I'm glad that you enjoyed whatever video it was, but child, I post so much content. Oh, you think her biological father is Cadillac's brother? Oh, then that would build up the lore around her mama having her little, you know what phase. Because then maybe she was one of his girls. Ooh. But then that's making me think, like, why did the grandmother have to raise her? Why didn't Cadillac's brother raise her? We're going to have to commit to one of them. I'm gonna put it under here. Fatima talked to her about her miscarriage on Sisters while her and Zach were in the car before going to see Michael. Right, but I don't know why I assumed that she was talking about the miscarriage. I mean, not miscarriage, the abortion. I didn't think about it being something else. Oh, you read Zach for the breakdowns. Allie posted a video about Karen. I gotta go look. I haven't seen anything. Love that. Okay. I'm gonna highlight father related because I like that Allie. I think that lore is really great. It explains a little bit more if her mama, in reference to the mama's whole season, you know? It explains some. Okay. Andy. See, I really struggle with characterizing their friendship as a true friendship. I think that she likes being able to solve Andy's problems. And she likes feeling useful in that regard. But Andy has helped her out in reference to getting Zach out of jail. But even when I think about her failing the law exam, Andy don't have no good advice for the stuff that's outside of Zach. She's like, oh, the professor is the problem. No, her being too consumed in Zach's life is the problem. That she not studying. That's the problem. So how should I describe her relationship with Andy? I also don't believe Andy know how to be a good friend. So there's that. Y'all let me know what I should say about that part. And I'm going to go on to job and career. She is a paralegal and assistant at Benson, Jones and Lee. Benson such and such and such and such and such. And Lee. She is in law school. Aspires to be an attorney. She originally had the goal so she could defend her criminal family members, but she stopped for reasons unknown, and now she is back but not doing well. I think that she admires Andy and blends work and personal often due to the admiration and loyalty she feels. She also likes the idea of friendship with a woman like Andy, if y'all know what I mean. I think that has a lot to do with it. Okay. Andy is scared of her, but doesn't always operate in true friendship with her. I think I could also say that in reference to Angela. Like Angela gives yes friend. Okay. Now anything else with Fatima's career? She can be very professional when she wants to be, but often returns to criminal inclinations when she is not getting her way. I think that's something fair to say. And this is something that we, like I said, we have to say this type of stuff before you get to writing, because you got to stay true to what has already been laid out before you. This is what we be begging the real writers to do, but they just don't want to do it. All right, so now I really need y'all's help, because Ellie, I can remember some of them, but like the way that Zach dismissed all her little likes philosophy, I can't remember everything. So she likes philosophy, she likes poetry, right? I kind of want to go back and like watch that episode so I can like get down really what she said. Alright, okay. Yeah, I'm about to I'm sharing this video really quick. Really? All right. Let me go back and see what y'all saying. You remember him reading, or us reading him for that. The episode was just so ridiculous. Like, he literally sat across from her and told her every single thing that she was interested in, that she liked. Stuff that just made her did not matter because they was in this relationship. Like, I don't know how you look somebody dead in the face and tell them. How do you look somebody dead in the face and tell them that nothing that they cared about in life before you mattered because you're there now? I would think the person was on drugs. Like, I would be like, something is wrong. Okay. Anyway, I really, really kind of want to go to that episode real quick. Because it was the audacity. Like, Zach had so much audacity. And she fell for it. She did, Allie. It was so bad. She really did fall for it. I'm about to go find the episode, y'all. I can't. I cannot go find the episode. Because what do you mean? What exactly do you mean? And you so right, Allie. She fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. It's so ridiculous. Fatima's no-nonsense mother is unimpressed by her new relationship. I'm trying to see which episode it is. Tensions escalate between Fatima and Zach amid cheating allegations. Zach and Fatima deal with the fallout of their intense argument. Is it this one? Episode 11? You want to see them on a date? Like, what do they talk about? They don't date. That's the problem. They haven't dated this entire time. Allie, remember this. They're playing. Cha. Zach was losing it in front of her friend. Just embarrassing. Okay, so I think it's episode 12 that he started talking all his mess to Paul. B+, please. Here you go. Here you go. A mess. Let me see. Is my headphones on? Oh no, wait. How did they get back to the house? Politics and philosophy.
I'm pretty good at putting people together.
I can see that.
And you and me.
So was it the first date or the second date? She left. Oh, and she could sing, because that's when we learned that she could sing. Hold on, let me add that on here. Politics, singing. spelled that wrong. What's the episode when he actually sat across from... That was the first date, so... Child, we do need to do a video about the disrespect. Allie, I feel like we gonna need these special special tables for our sister's keeper just to dive into some of the things. Zach in and of himself could be a whole episode of our sister's keeper. Sorry, it's giving me a commercial right now. I'm trying to find this, y'all. Season 2, episode 14. Okay, so it was the second date. Oh yeah, you're right, because she had this red dress on. And they had went from one spot to the next. I don't know why my phone is not...
Got somebody who loves me, and I keep fucking it up because of what you did. Who does you think you talking?
Okay. They got him out of here too fast. They should have shook the table with Paul a little bit more. She ain't need to end up with Paul, but they should have shook the table with Paul. Because this was just too cute. This. Even having a conversation about, like, potential other counterparts, Paul offered something else, and then we actually get to see them date and see what they talked about within the dates. Like you said, Nzinga, you would love to see a Zach and Fatima date, but they don't date. They don't talk about nothing. Her whole life is revolved around, like, supporting his interests and making his life easier. If y'all ain't seen it, Zach, this is Zachary Taylor. Zachary Taylor, ladies and gentlemen. Is it buffering still? Alright, let me watch. Zach, I'm clearly on a date right now. Are you? Yes. Yeah, hello. Then he sits down. Ignorant. Does he make you laugh like I do? Actually, he does. Are you happy? Zach, I just met him. But he's off to a really good start. And you just met him, remember that. She just met you when she hit you off that bike. Okay, Zach says in it, she says that Paul has done the work, like to become a better person, all that kind of stuff. And he says to her, it doesn't matter that I'm doing the work now. I'm still waiting to see what does that work look like for you, Zach. You just be saying stuff. You have the gift of gab, so you just be saying stuff to get over. Well, what work? Anyway, this is not a video about Zach, but Ellie, I fear we need to do a Zach, our sister's keeper. Well, Nzinga, this was before. This was from season 2. So she went on this date before what we're seeing now. And you pregnant with somebody who didn't take you on a date? Yes. Yes, 100%. This was just so terrible. The whole dialogue from this. He don't fit. Okay, here we go. What y'all talk about? We talk about politics, philosophy, things we've never talked about. Manage is whack AF. That was his response. That is whack AF. She tell you what she talks about this other man, and you tell her that that is whack. Not that you can talk about it too. Not that you would love to learn. Okay. Then he goes, y'all, people were trying to make it seem like we was making it up. And you probably can't see it because of things in the way. He literally says this. So when Alien, I remember when we first started talking about the dialogue that Zach said in this episode, and it was everybody was like, y'all trying to call him out, and y'all are like being elitist, y'all are calling him ghetto, y'all are calling him this, y'all are calling him that. He literally called himself that. He said he was from the gutter. And that's what Fatima needed. He said, you need that street, that gutter, that hood. That was literally his words out of his mouth. And then he goes on with the other ridiculous sexual stuff. So then we've already lost the plot. Okay. So philosophy, poetry, art, politics, and singing. That's what we have for her hobbies, which are all, like, there's just so much that you could do with that. I need to get to. All right. Is there anything else that y'all can think of that is a part of somebody's, like, life that we can explore with the Fatima character? Family, friends, job, hobbies and skills. The other things that I typically do when I'm like crafting characters for my own original projects is I think of what are some secrets that they would never tell anybody. What are some like, aside from like secrets, but what are some like really, really lofty, I want to try things that they don't outwardly say? Like, what are the things that they will hold close to the chest versus what are the things that they would love to proclaim? Who do they want to be perceived as? Which we can do that. We can add that. Her perception. I think that Fatima wants to be perceived as mature, independent, sexy, as close to perfect as perfect gets woman. She believes herself to have all the answers or has the ability to get the answers. She is rarely wrong. She loves hard and is loyal. I think that she also wants to be perceived as a boss. Motherhood, that would be a part of family, but because the child hasn't come here yet and she don't spend no time talking about the kind of mother she wants to be or hopes to be or what she looks forward to in it, I wouldn't make that a separate section. I would just kind of put it under unborn child. Yeah, she did never tell her about that. Chain breakers was also a hobby or extracurricular. Oh yeah, okay. So let me put chain breakers. And this speaks to her affinity for people needing a second chance. And we already know about with her family, she has empathy for criminals. She did forget about chain breakers immediately. And shoot, who knows? Like with the whole chain breakers thing, like were you scoping chain breakers for the criminal that you was gonna be turning to your man because you would rather build a man than get one that's on your level? The world may never know. That was another way she knew hate. Oh yeah, let's put Hayden. When I think about Hayden, right, and I'm like thinking about Fatima's potential, not potential, the issues that we get to see with her, right? Um, and how she's like pretty much unrelenting with her like coming at Hayden. Do we think that she could possibly resent him for not being the one? Because after Ian, or maybe before Ian, we don't know when Hayden happened, but after Ian, she kind of swore off men and falling in love or whatever. But when you think about Hayden, he's a lawyer at the law firm, so he has his own house, he has his things together. They had no sexual chemistry, and clearly has the personality of an incel, so that it worked out. Could it have been that she took a chance with him and she wanted him to be like the guy, he wasn't the guy? So like maybe some of the things that we're seeing now, the animosity that she has for him, is not just because he keeps coming for Zach, but because she had hopes of this thing and it just didn't materialize how she wanted it to materialize. That literally just came to me, so I don't know if that's true, but it could be. Very well clipping. Anything else we missing? Hayden looks very good on paper. It's until he starts talking that you really realize, like, oh wait. Right. He wasn't as like ridiculous, but he could have been like uninteresting. And then they only had sex once, so clearly the sexual chemistry wasn't there. So while he wasn't this terrible guy that he was, he could also have not been living up to like, I could marry him energy. Because I don't understand like why Fatima keeps her animosity going with Hayden. I understand why Hayden keeps his going with her because he still wants Fatima. But if Fatima doesn't still want Hayden, I don't understand why she pays so much attention to him. I don't understand it at all. Yeah, I have the law student. Currently failing. You want me to take that downstairs?
I gotta grab something else down here if I can.
Hold on 1 second, y'all. My bad, y'all. Okay. Yes, I got her. It's a law student, and she's failing. Hey, CC. She much like Zach, like the attention, making it feel like she's better than him. With Hayden, yeah, but even that is a strong or a weird motivation to keep. Like a lot of women, when we know that a man wants us or whatever, we ignore them. Fatima goes out of her way to not ignore Hayden, which is weird to me. But you know, every woman handles things differently, so there is that. Okay, I think we have a good amount of stuff to really start to like be out an episode. Just as a reminder, we're shooting for 26 minutes, which is about 26 pages. And the whole purpose is to give Fatima more story outside of her relationship, because I had a person ask me in a comment section of one of my videos, what did I mean by like we need to see more of Fatima's life outside of her relationship. So that is why we're here tonight. That is what we are discussing, and we're kind of beating it out together. So shout out to my good sis Ellie Nick, shout out to Nzinga who was in the chat. Mimi Love Cease was in here earlier. We catch this on replay. Hopefully you enjoy this, Miss Mamas. But all right, so outside of her relationship with Zach, we are going to basically like avoid this. But now that we have all of this other stuff about her and what she comes with, right, as a character in this universe, in her story, this is all things that gives us something to pull from. Now, again, with the episode's goal to be in exploring and fleshing out Fatima's life, which typically wouldn't necessarily be one unless you were planning to do a filler episode. It would have a much more compelling plot than this. So this wouldn't be like a really good live to do like a how to become a screenwriter type of video. This is literally me just pulling some stuff together off of a non-existent framework, because Tyler don't be writing how normal writers write. But with those goals in mind, I think that we need to see Fatima do at least one of her hobbies, and we need to see her pursue at least one of her interests / skills. And when it comes down to the doing, it would probably be singing or maybe even chain breakers. And then the pursuing an interest or skill that could be tied to politics or even a poetry thing. Maybe she takes like a poetry class. Like, I'm thinking about stuff now, so like we can do that. The beats. What is she doing? I like to create questions that I'm basically having to answer when it comes down to like writing scripts. It really helps me, I think, build out the narrative around certain things. So the questions that came to mind is, what is she doing? What does she want? How does she feel? And what will she get if she succeeds with getting what she wants? And what will happen if she loses? And that's specifically just for this episode. And I'm sorry if I'm not seeing everybody's messages. This isn't letting me. It's not letting me pull up all messages. So hopefully I ain't missed nobody. Anyway. And these are going to be kind of like the backbone for what I built the episode on. All right. So I'm going to start with what she wants before I give her things to do. I think, and this might seem like so trite, but I feel like setting her want to like feel like she wants to feel like she hasn't completely lost herself since she hasn't done anything, since it's been so much drama and stress since moving in with Zach, finding out she's pregnant, doing all of these things. Like, that could be the one. How do y'all feel about that? Now, I think that this one is interesting because on the outside looking in, I feel like she's already lost this battle, which gives us an innate amount of conflict to be able to write from. So I don't even have to like manufacture conflict in reference to making the plot compelling. But what do y'all think? I said to get back to herself, remind herself of how she felt, how it felt to enjoy the things she loves and found interest in. She wants to not completely lose herself in a relationship and become one of those girls. I feel like that could work. But again, y'all let me know what y'all think about this want. And based off of her want, then we decide what she's doing, because what she's doing is going to be how she's going to go about satisfying that want. They didn't give her that. Exactly. Allie said that could work. They didn't even give her museum dates. And okay, let me put some, how does she feel? I think that's like the next thing. I think that she feels, I think she's scared being newly pregnant. I think that she's also, because this is typically a thing, worried if she will be a good mom. I think that she feels lonely. In how her life currently revolves around Zach and his shenanigans. I think that she is longing for peace. The last time she truly felt at peace in her life was Zach started. I think she also feels a bit insecure. She places her value on how she shows up for others and what she can do for others, which traps her in a toxic cycle of constantly needing to prove her worth to those she loves. I think also it could be a feeling of trapped. Yes, Allie. I think that she does feel trapped. The relationship moves so fast and now she is pregnant. There is no going back. I think definitely confused. Is she doing the right things? Saying the right things? Sacrificing the right things. I think so, out of control. Anything else? Any other feelings we think that she may have going on? I think that's a good amount. Oh, I need to put, how does she want to feel? I think she wants to feel hopeful. I think that she wants to feel grounded and stable. I think she wants to feel certain. I think she wants to feel protected and provided for. I think she also wants to feel excited. Journey with Cece. I'm saying that she was at peace, which is a good question. We can unpack that. I'm saying that she seemingly was at peace because she had her routine, she had her job, she was making certain decisions, all grounded in what she wanted and not considering others. She wasn't, leaving herself to the whims of these men and what they wanted from her or what they expected from her. She was in control. So yeah, she could very well have not been at peace, but she was definitely more at peace and more stable, I think. Before the relationship. So much so that she had a hobby of helping a nonprofit like Chain Breakers. Like, I don't know, people who, which some people do in reference to like just wanting to fill their lives up with something and needing to stay busy. But there's, I don't know, I'm not gonna say people don't have hobbies if their life isn't at peace, because that's not true. But to me, the setup of what we got to see seemed like a woman who was making very active choices and was not miserable, was not struggling, and had truly crafted a life that she actually wanted, given the circumstances that she had. You know? She was in complete control of her life with her Zach. Exactly. And there's a certain level of peace that comes with that. Exactly. There is a certain level of peace that comes with being in control of the ship that you're on. Even if the seas get rocky, because the seas are never going to not be rocky, right? Like, they're going to have moments where life just be life in. But when you're in a position to actually have the steering wheel and that's happening, you are a lot more grounded than you are if you are in the passenger seat when that's happening. Okay, so I think that's good. We got that. Anything else in reference to how y'all think she wants to feel? Okay, I'm gonna go to what will she get? What will she get if she succeeds with getting what she wants? I think that she will get the feelings that she has been desiring. So she will find a place of peace that she hasn't experienced yet. She will be in more control of her life, allowing her to feel grounded and stable. She definitely needs to incorporate therapy at some point too, because how does she go from a woman in control, one with no control, just to dependence of one man? Child. Ooh, that's a good one, Allie. She wants to feel wanted, not needed. That's a really good one. Okay, she will find a place of peace that she hasn't experienced yet. She'll be in more control of her life, allowing her to feel grounded and stable. I feel like with Malachi and Andy, I think that she knows the difference in being wanted versus just being needed. Because before she committed to Zach, she was in relationships, or not in relationships, she was dating in a way that best suits her, and she understood the desire of that. And then even the short time that we got to see her with Paul, he clearly wanted her, did not need her to stabilize his foundation, to give him some place to sleep, to help him get out of jail. Like, he really just wanted to be in her orbit. So I think that she does know that, but I think that her value system, as it pertains to like the value that she assigns to those things, might be a little bit warped, but she's very clear. She knows what those two things are, I think. And for those who can't, because I don't have the chat on the screen, but Journey with CC says, does she even know the difference in being wanted and needed? Because with Malachi and Ian, her track record, I think, is confused a little, which is valid. It is valid. Okay. So the things that I think that we won't be able to address, I think that she's still gonna feel trapped after this. I think that she's still gonna be insecure, which we're not gonna be able to address everything in one episode. Oh, but the rest of them, I feel like we can at least touch on, or at least lay the groundwork to start to touch on it. So there's only two things that we can't fix. How does she want to feel? Hopeful, grounded, stable, certain, protected, and provided for. I think that she won't still feel this by the end of the episode. Because again, I'm focusing the episode on her and what she can do for herself. And that is tied to somebody else, i.e. Zach. I don't even think that we'll be able to deal with being wanted or needed. But we can start to lay the groundwork for that for sure, and that would be like the next episode or next few episodes. That could be a whole arc in like the whole wanted versus needed. So I'll put in italics the things that I don't think that we're going to actually be able to touch on, but we're still able to touch on quite a bit, so that is not actually that bad. Okay. If she doesn't succeed, I think this is the beginning of a mental and emotional spiral. She sinks deeper into chaos, insecurity, loss of identity, and fear. She feels even more trapped Yes, but she said Paul was annoying or draining. I can't remember the word she used, so that's why I asked if she even realized the difference. When did she say? I'm trying to think. I remember the tone of that, but I don't remember the exact words. And I felt like that was more tied to her not wanting to disassociate from Zach and less about him. It felt like in that moment when she was criticizing Paul, it was more because she was trying to talk herself out of really liking him, in the hopes of not really moving away from Zach. I don't think that she really believed those things, but I could be wrong. I hate that I would probably have to go back and rewatch season 2 because I don't remember. Allie would be a good resource for that if she's still in here. All right, while y'all, maybe Ellie's typing, I don't know. Or she probably went to bed because it's late. I'm gonna start beating out the episode. So now I get to talk about what is she doing. So when you are scared, you seek safety. And if she's scared of being newly pregnant, where would she seek safety? Maybe this is at she schedules an impromptu doctor's appointment in between her regularly scheduled appointment to ask questions and make the doctors do another ultrasound. I think this would be example of how she would be scared. Her doctor has to reassure her that everything is fine. Doctor tells her she cannot come in every week for an ultrasound. It is not necessary. Okay, I think that would be good. Alex says seek safety. It's the episode of them on the swings. Okay. Seek safety with a therapist. Oh, y'all trying to jump out the damn window. Allie, she ain't seen Carisha in forever. I think that she 100% needs a therapist, but I feel like she's just so far removed and so in her problem solver, I know everything bag, that she's not leaning on that. So for me to jump into that, I would need some setup. I personally to write that would need to build that up. Maybe at the end of the episode she gets there. Girl, I would love to throw Karen in though. But that would have to be an accident. Let me see how I can. All right, I'm gonna put it down just therapist Karen. Okay. Girl, because even bringing Karen into the conversation, we got to move Karen along to a place where she's 100% good with it and can like support Fatima. But maybe she runs into Karen at the doctor's. I don't know how I'm supposed to write this. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be messy because now I'm like, I needed to figure out a way for her to not be at this appointment with Zach. But if this is not a regular appointment, so it's not in the Google Calendar or whatever, and this is just her worrying, and she don't want to show Zach that she's worried, but she's also struggling with feeling like her life revolves around Zach, then maybe this is something that she feels like she needs to do on her own. So if I get Karen to ask where is Zach, that adds a little bit of in the episode really early on. And of course she's like gonna lie and just say, oh, you had to do something or whatever. And maybe it comes back later on of like Karen runs into Zach. Let me see. I'm gonna put that as just a we'll see. All right. Lonely and how her life currently revolves around Zach and his shenanigans. Well, maybe she doesn't make an appointment. Maybe she just pops up. Goes in for I'm trying to figure out how I would reveal the like lonely. So many times Fatima told Karen she understands because she's been there before. Now she's walking a path that Karen has traveled before her. Yep. You feel like it would be good if she ran into her, find out she's not pregnant, and do. It's like we gotta work with what they gave us. We cannot say the lady is not pregnant no more. It'll show how desperate she is to find solace, but it definitely has to be built up. Yes, the therapist definitely. If she does see a therapist, she needs to start realizing Carisha ain't the right one, because we see her work already. Carisha is doing her job. In the beginning, she was a little bit too lax with Danny, but Carisha, she doing something over there. Y'all. All right, the beats. We gotta include Angela some way. Honestly, I'm thinking about how the episode will start. Scenes are starting to pop in my brain right now. I'm trying to figure out if I should just jot those little connective tissue scenes down. Oh, that could be good. Okay, I'm actually gonna go and do that now. I'm gonna be jumping back and forth between my notes app and Final Draft, which is the software that I use to screenwrite in. Okay. So, starting us off, interior, duplex, morning. No. So I'm thinking, I'm like trying to set the scene for, oh shoot, this thing is about to die. Hold on, y'all. I need to plug my iPad in. Not Carisha's. Why y'all reading Carisha for filth? Y'all are reading her for filth. Ellie, you feel like Carisha is not the one? Really? Y'all trying to have Karen and Fatima have a heart to heart. We got 26 minutes, y'all. 26 of them hoes. Talking about we see how much you changed. Oh my word. Okay. Y'all reading this girl for filth don't make no sense, honey. Y'all just turning her every which way but loose, child. Okay. This is hard. This is hard. What do I want her? Okay, I could be as a matter of fact as that, cause they be that way. She trying to smoke whip. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Sec is in this episode. Can y'all see my y'all can see it, okay. Journey with CC. We are not like the writers. We respect they stuff and what they build. We can have Karen be true to her character, but we cannot have Karen coming on ZATIMA and running amok. So no, we cannot have her say, "I tried to warn your stubborn ass." She cannot say that. Okay, so then my problem with this is, Allie, I'm not even including Michael, but I could. They haven't included Michael. Fatima talked about that there's no door and her friends could hear them arguing. Yeah, because there's no door. There's no room for Michael. There is no Michael's toys anywhere. Michael is nowhere to be found. So on ZATIMA, they're ignoring Michael. So I feel like I'm going to ignore him as well. But I like that, like, setup. I basically feel like I need to get to a place where she gonna call out of work, so we're gonna have a phone call with Andy. Let me see. Okay, he definitely should be left out. Why isn't Michael on ZATIMA? We have not seen him at all. You think what we're seeing on ZATIMA is then before he won custody? How, Journey? Because she found out she was pregnant at the end of season 1 of ZATIMA. And now we're seeing her pregnant on Sisters. It don't make no dang on sense. And then they reference Miss Gladys dying on Sisters. You don't want to pull it up to her mansion. The strike did not do nothing to Tyler. He don't get to take that credit because he is releasing 2 seasons of stuff every single year, and he writes all the episodes in one weekend. So the strikes didn't do nothing to Tyler. He had never had them in a good place in reference to timeline, which doesn't make any sense to me. That's not running amok. Let's be honest. She can say it with a subtle tone. I really don't know what the explanation is for Michael being missing in action on ZATIMA. I don't believe that this is all well before season 6 of Sisters. But if they want to lie and say it is, then fine. Alright. I'm not fully committed to this first scene, but we got the first scene down. Yay. Some nice little warm-up walking. You thought they cut the Gladys reference in the episode? Oh, it was on the preview, but it was edited out the episode. Oh. So, Ellie, you think that all of this that's happening on ZATIMA is before they get custody of Michael? Me too. I think so too. Sure. They need another room. They need a new house. Alright, I think the next scenes need to be her coming out of the closet, where she is changing. Zach tries to get a little lovey-dovey, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Deval loves to talk about how the team is ahead of sisters. I legit want to know how and when Michael's presence is non-existent exactly. Remember the season 1 finale of the team is when they found out that Zach was Michael's father. Fatima received the DNA results. Yep. Side note. Oh no, I heard this. Yep. Deval says a lot of stuff that don't make sense pertaining to both shows, so I don't listen to him anymore because he confuses me. Facts. Okay, let me keep writing. Oh gosh, then to write Zach, you gotta empathize with him a certain amount. Like, I can't hate him right now. Like, I gotta try to make him funny. I'm about to put some placeholder text because I can't think right now, and I don't like Zach as a character as much. Whatever. We need a joke, y'all. We need a joke for the pink and how fine she is. And since I stopped listening to him in season 2. You said you could enjoy your sister's train until season 5, so I can only imagine what he said before then. Honestly, I mean, Allie will tell you that Zach has been trash from the very beginning. I feel like, while yes, his whole begging and the bike and all of that was always bad, but I feel like in season 3, when he started to feel himself and get into this relationship with Fatima, that he started to get worse. Because the first 2 seasons, I really empathized with him a lot, but that was also because I've experienced a relationship like that. And like, you be wanting to give the benefit of the doubt to Negroes like this, who like down on their luck and just kind of need help and whatever. So initially, like, Zach did not rub me the wrong way. I was just like, oh my God, I want him to figure it out. I was rooting for Zach so much early on. And then he just became this. You have to hit the ball on us to keep the seeds defense on what y'all say. Because when he's on other commentators, it was answer the right questions. The tea about that is that he goes where he wants to go. I have reached out. I actually had a conversations initially, and the dude who plays Nathan was supposed to do something with him, and then I asked him to get the vial, and that really just kind of fell through. But then after which, I would still see you engaging with other people. So to me, now I don't know this to be true, but I'm assuming that that's a choice. I'm assuming that you are choosing to have conversations with certain people, even though the invitation has been given, communication has been had, and you have yet to like come and engage with a conversation with me, even though you know that there is a desire to have one. That to me feels like a choice. So I'm not about to run down on people. I'm not finna chase. And I'm not fully pressed. I would love to have a conversation with Deval, but I don't know if they're choosing who they're having conversations with because they want to keep a certain narrative going. And because I, and by proxy, my platform and the conversations that Ellie and I have each week are often in direct conflict with those things. Ellie says, I've never liked that best. We know, Ellie, we know. You have never liked him. Okay, I feel like I need to come back to the Zach and Fatima scene, but I basically want to like set the stage of him being normal and her being standoffish, and him also not even really clocking it because he's not paying attention to her really. But it's something for the audience to be able to see and her to get out of there. So I'm just gonna put some here because I got to come back and like finish out that scene because I don't damn know. Maybe I should have Amy's name as Andrea in her phone. Let me fix that. this thing. When I try doing like unconventional stuff, it gets weird. A small taste of Zach when I was 19, fell in love with him, and it was semi-toxic, and I said never again, child. At least like you would get annoyed with Zach in real life quick, so I believe you. I don't seem like I would be annoyed. This Erica would be annoyed, but the other Erica was dumb as hell. Older Erica was like dumb, but I also grew up with the dude, so it's different. I think how they come into your life is different as well. Like, it matters. Because Fatima just hitting the boy off with a bike, not knowing him from Adam, and just deciding to try to be his superhero is wild work. Growing up with somebody and knowing them for forever, to me, I think adds a level of, like, endearment. Well, that sex is a dope conversation. Because you're right, the other show, Champion Sex, so that makes sense. I think after this wave is done is when it'll happen, just because, like you said, you gotta keep positive momentum since it's popular. Yep, they are late 30s in the show. So the first episode was when a brother got in on his knees and cried, talking about, you know where I come from. Oh, he one of those. That's when the geographical location justify you cheating on me. Facts. Okay, so basically, I gotta flesh this out. All of this, like, in between stuff, not that I don't care about, but I don't really care about. So, like, this phone call with Andy is basically having sex with somebody. I don't care who it is, but she is, and she's just calling Fatima to clear her schedule. And basically, I need to get to the point where Fatima says, okay, is it okay if I don't come in today since you're not coming in? But I'll just make sure everything is cleared on the calendar and we follow up over everything. And then I want Andy to just be distracted and be like, okay, cool. But basically, Fatima's not going into work today. So this scene the whole purpose of it is for that to happen. But I need to figure out how I want that to happen specifically. And right now I'm like putting all this dialogue in here, but I'm not fully committed to it. So again, I'm going to put some more dots and come back to it. Actually, I think I could highlight... the scenes that... I need to fix and like build more up, build up. Andy doesn't care what it is either. How she felt once it when he was talking about being in love with Carrie every 2 seconds. I'm not yelling, just saying it makes no sense. Listen, y'all, facts. I want to get to like the good stuff, honestly, because it's already getting close to 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm about to take my ass to bed. But I want to write something that is like literally good. He'll be away with Karen and be another way with Fatima. So initially it was easy for both women to be with each other the way they did. Cause what was that? What's the way? Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna skip to the doctor's office. Oh wait, let me go back to my little notes. What am I saying on my notepad? When she leaves the doctor's office, we want her to go to a museum to like clear her head. I should have known I wasn't gonna be able to do this in one video in the middle of the damn night. Alright, I'm gonna at least jot them down so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So she needs to go to she visits a museum. Talks to Angela after Angela sees she didn't come to work. Angela suggests they do karaoke. Happy hour, which would speak to the singing. She avoids Zach's calls all day. Oh, and Zach runs into Angela at Fatima's office, and they both discover she didn't come into work. I think she can also, she need to visit 2 places. Yeah, I'm saying a library versus a bookstore because at a library she can run into parents specifically moms with their babies or their kids. That leaves a good amount of opening. She's avoided phone calls all day. Then she finally answers Angela's phone call. Angela suggested they go to karaoke because she loves to sing. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't feel like we need to have her Karen running to Zach. I'm just gonna strike through it so it'll be there so I can still see it, but that's right now. It's not gonna be the way that Zach finds out that Fatima was at the doctor's, or maybe he still does. I don't know, but I ultimately want him to track her at karaoke after she avoided contact and communication with him all day. We can flesh out more of her personality and her interests based off of like what artwork we see her gravitate towards at the museum, and what books she's looking at the library, how she reacts in those environments. Hell, maybe we have her go to like her favorite restaurant that Zach has never been to, and it's like Greek food. The owner Okay, so then maybe this is when she calls the therapist. Alright, so these are basically the beats of the episode, y'all. once I get into it. And this is what the episode will be. And I feel like this is a pretty decent episode. What y'all think? Where am I with the script? I am, hold on. Andy and Fatima talking over the phone because Andy's worried about clearing her damn day so she can continue her dick appointment, and while Fatima is mentally spiraling. So yeah, girl, we only 3 pages in, but I am getting tired and it's almost 2 a.m. He did initially, but he also kept telling her how she's so different and better than Karen. Even when she was blocking his calls, he popped up at her job begging, maybe you can introduce another friend for her to talk to run into. And then as she's talking about everything, she can tell her she sounds like a fool. And Zinga, you just want somebody to tell her. You just want somebody to tell her that she's a fool. It was still stupid for her to believe him, but I believe that's essentially what made her fall for him. Ninja was begging to be with her. My mama and younger siblings' father, other baby mama, were like Karen and Fatima. They're best friends now. My mama walked in that lady's house like Fatima and told John, the baby daddy. Child. He was a homosexual at best. That's why he was begging. We know he was a homosexual, but Fatima didn't. Sis believed in just every lie. He just says with her and never wants to leave. Yep. I wouldn't say that she's unintelligent per se. I think she just loves a project story due to her upbringing. I mean, look at Chainbreaker. She stayed helping men like Zach. Oh snap! A script. Barely, Mimi. Barely. We got the makings of it. We did all the beats and all the background work. But now that it comes time for me to put pen to paper with the actual scenes, and I'm tired. And she watched her mom be that way with her dad, so that plays a part too. I gotta go back and rewatch some episodes where she's talking about her mom, because I'm not clear on if her dad was like Zach or if her dad was well-to-do and her mom was wayward. Because like Ellie said, her grandma raised her, and it had to be a reason. Because her mom wasn't necessarily as solid as she needed to be, you know. But this is where we're at, and this is honestly where I'm about to stop, y'all, because I am tired. I wanted to make sure I still went live to keep my streak going, and I'm like, okay, this will give me something to do, so it won't just be a boring little 2-minute live like I did yesterday. But this was always going to be something that took forever. Alright, so just to remind y'all, the script will ultimately speak to this. The beats that are in here. How do I zoom in? That's not that. How do I zoom in on the notes? Zoom in. Zoom in again. Okay. These are the beats. Right here. This is what's happening in this episode. Her dad was like Zach in and out of jail. But like, was he in and out of jail like Cadillac because he's a boss? Or was he like Zach with a bike? You get what I'm saying? Like, I need clarity on the further degrees of how he was like Zach. Because, you know, Avon from The Wire was in and out of jail. But he was a boss. Okay? A boss. How y'all feel about these beats of the episode? This is ultimately what the scene will turn into. I mean, what the script will be. Anything we're missing? Anything you don't like? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Because the next video, when I do the writing part, I'm just going to stick to this because we can pontificate for days. So much of the work has to go, goes into like the backstory and stuff, and I think this is where a lot of the scripts fall short. And I'm glad I'm actually showing this particular part of it, and like how much of me writing the script was really me going back over all of the backstory in the background, because all of that plays a part. When we are writing stuff, we're not just coming up with whatever we think might sound cool, but you really have to allow the character to tell you what is going to happen. Like, yes, it comes out of our brains and we're like technically creating it, but based off of what has been established by Fatima, when you put her in a certain circumstance, when you put her in a certain space, when you have her interact with other people of various personalities, her established character, her established personality, her previous actions all give you indicators for like how she would behave moving forward. And that's why it's so important to do like the prep work. Like y'all got to see me at the beginning of this video, and this is the parts that I feel like be missing from the actual episodes. They do not have like a running document of all the stuff about certain characters, because the way they be acting like certain things are not the case. The way they be ignoring very canon events for some characters, but this is a very big part of it. Oh, wow. Allie. I'm from Baltimore. I'm your homegirl. You have to watch The Wire. Like, what? What? Child. Bless y'all's heart. How do you not see one of the best black series that has ever been created? And it's technically not even a black series. It just centers around black life in Baltimore. But it's very much so created by white people, and it's just done so well. I cannot believe y'all. I cannot believe y'all. Wow. I don't know, y'all. It should be a little bit of shame. Y'all need to rectify that soon. You need to rectify it. I still am in love with Avon Barksdale, okay? I probably will never let that go. Ever. And see, Zach's problem is that he thinks that he's Avon, but he's probably closer to being Stringabell. But how y'all feeling about these beats? No objections? We think this is a decent episode in the making? Not you watch Straight Outta Compton. Girl. What is Straight Outta Compton supposed to do for you? Girl, we ain't even talking about this in reference to blackness. And of course you watch Being Mary Jane. Being Mary Jane is right up your alley. To be fair, I was too young at the time and I never cared once I got older to go look it up. But maybe one day. One day needs to be now. One day needs to be today. One day needs to be now. I went 6 or 7 years without TV. You believe it was during The Wire, Being Mary Jane, etc. No, The Wire was 12 years before Being Mary Jane. Being Mary Jane came out in 2013. I will never forget it because that was my very first BET Awards that I worked as press. I was so surprised that I got approved as press, and I flew to LA. I was living in Baltimore at the time, and I had done like the BET Honors, which was a much smaller show, but this BET Awards was like my biggest show, and they premiered it there. So they gave us the episodes on a thumb drive, and they had all this promotional material. You watch Lincoln Heights, that's close enough, right? No, it's not close enough. It's nowhere near it. That's on ABC Family. And I love Lincoln Heights. No shade to Lincoln Heights. I just started rewatching it a couple weeks ago, and then I stopped for a second. I love Lincoln Heights, but Lincoln Heights don't have nothing on the wire. Nothing has nothing on the wire. Like, there is no comparable, like, oh, I watched this, so that's fine. Like, you literally have to watch The Wire. Ellie, you said you love the beats. All right, we're not missing anything in reference to the beats. This is the episode. And I think this is a top tier ZATIMA episode. With all of this going on, this is giving us something. And it's so minimal on Zach. Which is why I don't understand when people are telling me, like, oh, you want them to break up? They can't be broken up. The show is about their relationship. No, the show is about two individuals who happen to be in a coupledom. You can also be outside of the coupledom and then still have episodes that are very good without them having to be in a relationship. This episode has Zach playing the damn background, and it's probably like a top 10, top 5 ZATIMA episode in the making. Ellie said, damn, I don't know why I didn't watch The Wire. You haven't watched The Wire, The Shy, Power, none of them. But The Shy, Power all have nothing on The Wire. The Wire is like quite, like, Power is good. I like Power. But Power is like, if The Wire was a soap opera. The Wire is actually expert television playing out. The Shy is good. It is not The Wire. Empire is good, but Empire is Power with songs. Y'all just gonna have to cut the malarkey. Cut the malarkey and turn on HBO. That's all I can tell y'all. The show's really about Zach. Fatima is his sidekick, for real. Somebody should hack the system and cut the episodes and have people read it. Lord. She barely a sidekick. Facts. But alright, y'all. I thank y'all for popping on with me impromptu. I wanted to do something meaningful with this live, because I had 2 lives back to back, which granted I had the funeral, so my mind was not necessarily there, but I kind of felt bad for having 2 lives back to back where I really wasn't talking about nothing. I really wasn't doing nothing. So we did this one. I'm glad that people who were able to join did so live. Shout out to Allie and Zinga Journey with CC. Mimi Loves Peace. I really appreciate y'all. But your girl is about to take her behind back to sleep. Today has been a rest day because yesterday was just so draining for me. But we got through it. Wait, what last line? Oh yeah, it's just dots. So tell me to go back and add more. Alright, I will see y'all on live again tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be another screenwriting live. We will see. But I do want to get this script done because this should be much easier. And I've already done like some of the background work for the Karen pilot, but I need to go ahead and get that going. I'm actually more interested in that, but that's harder because I am so much more interested in it. I want to make sure I do it justice. So I'm like a little bit more meticulous with it, if that makes sense. But yeah, hopefully y'all have a good night. Rest well. See you later.